This is the craziest reading that I've done in a very long time. Because when I'm connecting with your mom, she's showing me things that I've never seen before. She's showing me when I'm connecting with her, like that she changed the person who she was. Hi, where are you guys from?
We're in England.
Perfect. Well, first of all, I'm glad that you're here. And right away, there's a couple souls that are stepping forward, but I have this soul that's trying to speak to me that, first of all, I felt passed of the head here in the physical. Who passed of their head?
I wasn't with my mother when she passed, but she had a head injury.
There's a lot that I have to tell you right now, and there's a lot that I need to speak about. And first of all, I'm sorry because your mom's saying to me, Matt, you need to handle him like less because there's so much that I didn't get to say to him here in this world. And your mom tells me that you were not expecting her to step forward today or to speak to you. But first of all, when I'm connecting with her, your mom wants to tell me a few things. And first of all, the moment she showed me her head, it was for one reason. She says to me that there was issues that were going on in her head here in this world. And she's telling me that that head injury, whatever had happened to her, had also changed her as a person as well. Because when I'm connecting with her, she's showing me her moods being up and down, up and down, up and down. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And your mom says to me, Matt, she says, please let my son know that I am sorry that I didn't get to be the mother that I should have been to him here in this world. She says to me that what's so hard for you is that you went through your whole life feeling like your mom never got to acknowledge you, never got to acknowledge the things that were happening or got to be there for you in the milestones that you were going through.
I didn't expect this. I'm here to support my wife, and I haven't known my mom since I was 5 years old.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to even want you to speak because I know everything that your mother's telling me because she's been waiting all these years to come through and tell you this. Your mom is telling me that here in this world, this was so much more than just a brain injury that she went through. Your mom also tells me that she suffered from a mental illness when I'm connecting with her. Because right away, she's showing me when I'm connecting with her. She's saying, Matt, she goes, I didn't want to be this way. I didn't want to be this way. She kept telling me. She goes, but here in this world, she says, I didn't understand. She goes, I didn't understand that I was the problem. She goes, I spent so much of my life blaming everybody else. She says, I felt like everybody else was the enemy. She says, and I didn't realize, she says, that I was the one pushing people away. She keeps showing me when I'm connecting with her that there were broken bridges with a lot of people. She says, and Matt, she goes, it got to the point where I pushed everybody out of my life. So much so that she says to me, it's almost like she lost her own identity.
She had burnt bridges with my whole family, and she didn't have an identity because she had, so many things that happened over her life. Like all of these things are, it's crazy. I'm sure
going to tell you
that
something
all the time. It's
This is the craziest reading that I've done in a very long time. Because when I'm connecting with your mom, she's showing me things that I've never seen before. Like when I connect with her and she's showing me like her burning bridges, and about the fact that she left her family. And then she's showing me her trying to restart her life. And it's almost like she's showing me when I'm connecting, like her trying to take on a different identity. She's showing me when I'm connecting with her, like that she changed the person who she was.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I don't even think if you saw your mother before she died, I don't think she would recognize who she was. She shows me her changing her appearance. She shows me her changing how she dressed, all these weird things when I'm connecting with her.
Oh my God. Yeah. They all said that she didn't look the way she was, that I wouldn't have seen her on the street. I remember people saying that to me because I only attended her funeral, but I hadn't seen her all of those years. And so, yeah.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Your mom is here for a reason. Because sometimes when souls leave this world and we don't have closure because we don't know how they died or what had happened, our loved ones will come through and speak about it. And when I was connecting with her, she was showing me her head and I kept seeing parts of her brain that were affected. And your mom says to me when I'm connecting, this was so much more than her just being angry and upset. She's showing me bipolar when I'm connecting. And when I see that, that means there was a medical issue that she was not diagnosed with here in this world. But just because she wasn't diagnosed because she didn't go to the doctors doesn't mean that that's not true. It's her way of coming through and letting you know from the other side that she wants to give you that hope and closure and that reassurance of letting you know that in spirit, this was not your fault. Your mom says to me that one of the things that she wants to apologize for is the hurt and the pain that you went through. But she shows me that there were other family members that had to take care of you and had to help with raising you and had to help with all of these things. But you know what? When somebody does us wrong here in this world, when they go against us or they do things that they're not proud of on the other side, there's one thing I can tell you as a medium. A lot of times those souls will come back through and help us here in this world. And they also watch over things in our life. And what also happens is when we pass on, we leave any ailment, disability, mental illness, whatever it is, we leave behind so that we can transition on. And your mom says to me that she's able to look in on your life. She's able to see everything everything that you did from the moment that she left your life physically to the moment that she went to the other side. And your mom says to me, the first thing that she wants to let you know is that she is so, so proud of you. She says, Matt, because my son is such an amazing husband, and she's talking about you being a father. She tells me that you were so worried because you didn't want to have children and you were fearful of having a child because of what you went through with your mom. Do you understand that?
Yes.
She says to me, Matt, please tell him to not live in fear like that. She says, please tell him I see his whole life and I see the man that he is. She says, and more importantly, she says, he may have gone through bad things within his life. She says, but I am so proud of him. She says, because he became the person that I should have been. And your mom's acknowledging that. And she sees all the love that you give to your wife and your family. And your mom says to me, please tell him I'm so proud. Please tell him I'm so proud. You know, what's crazy is this, is that your mom tells me that one of the hardest things about her passing is that you always were trying to try to understand, how come my mom didn't get in touch with me? How come I really didn't get to know her? How come I didn't get to feel close to her? Was it me? Your mom says to me, please know that I realize now that I died that I was never trying to escape you. She said, I was trying to escape myself. She says, I didn't like what was going on in my life. She goes, I didn't like the person that I became. She says, and I felt things and sensed things that just were not real. She says, but I want you to know every day that I am sorry. She says, and I want you to know that this is my opportunity right here, right now. It's the reason why I'm coming through, she's telling me, because I want to ask you for one thing. Your mom just said to me, I want to ask my son for forgiveness. Doesn't mean you have to do it right now, but your mom's telling me that when the time is right, she says, and when you want to revisit things, she says, all you have to say either out loud or in your head, whenever that time comes, I forgive you. She says, that's all I need from you. She says, because I don't want you to carry that hurt and that pain that I left with when I died. And it's her way of just letting you know that.
Thank you.
Your mom is also telling me this. She also tells me that she's so happy about how self-taught you were within life as well. And she keeps talking about a business when I'm connecting. Are you opening up a business? Or do you run a business?
So I'm military and I'm getting close to retirement, and I've talked with my wife in the living room in depth about potentially opening a business when I get out of the Air Force, like a lot.
You will do that because your mom says that to me. And she says to me, Matt, she says, as crazy as that is, she says, I want him to know, she says, that during that journey of you leaving the military and opening that next chapter, she says, I see all these good things that are happening. She says, and what I'm so proud of and what he needs to be proud of is that my son did this all on his own. She says, you never needed help from anybody else. She says, so as hard as it is, because you go back and you say, oh my God, I never had anyone helping me. I never had, my mom there. I couldn't rely on my family because there were problems that were going on. I couldn't rely on this one. I couldn't rely on that one. Your mom says to me that that's the reason why you need to go back and look at yourself. She says, because you did this all on your own. And she says also at the same time, when I'm connecting with her, she tells me that's the reason why you went into the military, because you never had a family. And she tells me that your military family became like your family. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
She says, and all the things that you accomplished, it may have been the hard road, but your mom shows me this beautiful life that you're living in the future. She says, and I'm so happy, Matt, that I could come through and just clear this up. This is her way of letting you know in spirit that she is with you, that she is watching over you, and more importantly, that she is safe and at peace.
Thank you.
I really hope that this helped you today.